ask you, why do you do yoga? What do you get from it? Why do you do it? On some level, I think your soul actually calls you there, because there's a lot of exercise activities that we can all do. We can do Pilates, we can do basketball, we can do hurling, swimming. Like, there's loads of activities. But what's specific about yoga as opposed to maybe Pilates, which looks very similar? And I think it's on a soul level that it hits you. I think it hits you. If it's right for you, you'll know when it's right for you. I personally am a very soulful person, a very spiritual person. I love the experience of my third eye, and yoga enhances your psychic ability. Basically, you're doing forward bends. Anything that brings the head forward is bringing blood flow up to most people's very calcified pineal gland. And when you get that to sort of release the calcification, you see what you should see. You know, you have much more telepathic and telekinesis and every kind of thing, very psychic and in tune with what you need, what's right for you and who's not right for you. And the path of realization, the path of self-realization. The Bhagavad Gita is really about this path of self-realization, and it's very shocking, I think, or it comes as a great surprise to find out that the Bhagavad Gita is a war scene. It is about a battle where you must battle against your own family. And the moral of the story is you can't back out, you must fight. That's really strange, isn't it? For yoga, why must we do that? But as you carry on your path of self-realization, realizing who you are and stripping back what people call the matrix or the lies that have been applied onto you, you will meet great resistance. You're going to come across massive resistance. And it is within the yoga practice, if you want to enhance your strengths, you can do that. And this is what this whole path is for. It's to know the self. So the discipline is there so that you can strengthen yourself and that you don't get beaten down by the resistance, because it'll come in hard. And you can revert back to your Bhagavad Gita if you want to, but the message in it is act or don't act. Never react. See, you're keeping the power to yourself. There's really not much other exercise activities that gives you that kind of a philosophy or gives you the access to yourself. So for me, it is because it enhances my psychic centers, and I really enjoy that. The more I practice it, the better I feel and the better choices I make. I want my body to be healthy, therefore I will only eat foods that make me feel better. I make decisions then that enhance my life. I have people in my life that are good to me, so I don't have very many. That's okay. That's the path of self-realization. On this path, you will be on your own eventually, or maybe you are already, but it can only be done by you. And it must only be done by you. No one can, even though you might want to, and times you might feel like a victim. And you're no victim at all. You're mighty, you're being trained. And I don't know if we're not really in training or in a practice in this life. Life is happening now. There's no practice at all, actually. It's here. However, if you have the discipline already and built in you, you'll just be able for the hits and you can take it. So it is a warrior's path. It's similar somewhat to martial arts to some degree. A lot of the background and the philosophy is coming from the same place, but it is a more peaceful place. And it's not that you don't take actions, it's that you have the sense to know when to take the action and to take the right action. When you take the action, you won't have any guilt or bad feeling about it because it was so necessary. Yoga really teaches you these things. You don't lie over and let people hurt you. It's not acceptable. It is denying God, the God of your own temple. We don't allow that. You mustn't allow anyone to ever walk over your boundaries, so long as you have healthy boundaries and you keep them yourself. See, this is what you'll do on your yoga practice, because I say yoga practice, but in your yoga daily workout, right? You're improving your own space and your own energy and the bubble of light that's around you. You're just enhancing it and improving it all the time. Because we're like magnets, we're aiming to attract to us higher vibrations, higher frequencies, that experiences which make us feel good, that enhance our world, that makes today more valuable than anything, because I've learned something, I've grown, I've developed something, I've new energy coming through. So we must move our energy. All the time, stagnant energy makes us stuck like a swampy pond. and we want to flow almost, not always like waterfalls, but more like rivers, okay? We just always want the energy moving. So yoga helps to do that. So as the positions, the point of the postures is to open up what are called meridian channels, and they're also called the nadis, and these enhance the energy. So it's our psychic, it's our mental, psychological, emotional energy that blocks them. So the physical practice is opening these channels so we can move that emotional energy, the false beliefs we have about ourselves and the false reality in which we live. Yoga teaches us this is a false reality. Everything here is false. It says that. This is false. It's fucking make-believe. It really is. We're in a dream state. It's really the backbone of it. It's like you can't be believing this and you cannot be taking this shit personally, right? So the practice of yoga separates you as well from the noise, the gossip, all the shit that you just don't need in your life anymore. So you've better friends. No friends is better than bad friends. And you will realise that, because the more you enhance yourself, the resistance grows. It's just the fact of life. It's how it's built. It's how this world is made. Don't worry about it. It's a dream and you can't even die. You just wake up and you're back on again. And that's the truth. We go from dream to dream. Why yoga? Because why else would you even know that? How else would you even know any of that? How else could I have developed my soul? In this Western society, you probably couldn't. You'd have to be very determined. There's certain paths you can take. Probably in the end, none of them will be you. You'll forge your own path, but the discipline is there. It's good to learn the discipline. I think martial arts and yoga are the places to learn the discipline. I don't really see anything else there. Because generally our mentors wouldn't. You got to walk the walk and talk the talk to teach somebody anything, and you'll often find that those who are teaching you things are good to a point and then they kind of lack in themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is the human condition and we meet people where we're at. But I'd encourage people to carry on learning who they are, developing their own self, learning restraint also. Yoga teaches you a lot about restraint, restraining the food, restraining the breath, restraining from going into negative and toxic environments and things like that. And it's discipline. And it's discipline of the mind, so that you can take the hits, so that you can take the knocks, that you're not pushed off by anything that's going on in the world either. You just always remember you're safe, you're protected, that it's all lies, it's all a false reality, it's all sort of photons and pixels and just noise trying to distract you all the time. But basically that's it. Like, it's just one huge distraction keeping you away from your higher center, your connection with God, your godliness, your being, your power, your strength, your ability to really do huge work on this planet. And that scares the shit out of people too. So to live your best life, to be strong enough to live your best life. So that's yoga for me. It's shown me discipline, it's shown me strength, and it's opened up my psychic center so I can see I am learning who I am. And the 3D reality of that is sort of shocking, yet I embrace it completely because it's my path to enlightenment, and I am so pleased to be on the path of enlightenment.